Hey everybody, Sarah Spencer with Vermont Chalky Paint. I've got this Eastlake dresser that I'm putting Statehouse White on and going to be doing a little bit of distressing on. I think it's going to come out really nice. I already sanded the top of it down. I used the ebony, Fireside Ebony stain from Vermont Natural Coatings, and I really love how it's coming out. So I think with the Statehouse White on here, it's going to be really nice to be able to see it. So I figured I'd take you from the very beginning, because a lot of times this can be the scariest part of a project. So I'm just going to put my gloves on, and you don't have to, but I just like to. It just makes it a little less messy. And make sure, this is extremely important, you really shake this up, because the paint can sit in the bottom of the jug. You want to make sure that it's really well shaken. And then I'm going to pour that into my container next to me, and I've got it ready to go here. Hey, and what I've done is I've put the drawers inside, so now I'm just going to paint them. And as you can see, I've got this edge that I'm going to be painting with the Statehouse White, and doing that up. Give you a show here. And I just try to hit as close to that edge without actually getting into my stained part. And if you're a little nervous about that, you can always hit it with the little foam brush that's included in your Statehouse pack. Hello, Sarah Spencer with Vermont Chalky Paint, and I have this beautiful Eastlake Dresser with Mirror. You saw me painting the base of it, and now we're going to tackle the mirror itself. So the best way to do that, so that I protect the glass, is this is a little hack I found from Kristen Min. She puts index cards down, and I thought that was such a clever idea to protect the glass when you're trying to do those extra edges. So Kristen, thank you for making that suggestion. So I'm just going to open these index cards up and start putting them between the glass and the wood. So see how this goes. Okay, so what I'm doing is going to put my gloves on, and I'm going to give Vermont Chalky Paint a really, really good shake. When you get these and they're delivered to you, you want to make sure that you shake it, because if they've been sitting for a while, especially with colder weather, you want to make sure that you really shake this up so that everything gets mixed together, so the sediment isn't sitting in the bottom of your jug. So give it a good shake. I mean, a really good shake. And then I also like to take a paper towel and just wipe this down. Any dust or grime that's in there, I want to make sure that that's all gone. Get started. I'm grabbing one of the foam brushes because I've got this little corner, you know those little bits and bobs? You want to make sure that you can get in there and get the paint in so that it's not leaving any issues. And these little foam brushes can really tuck right in where the big round brush just is not able to get in. I'm kind of pushing it right into the edge and then sliding it back out so that I minimize the amount of dripping that happens, because it's such a beautiful design that I want that design to really shine. And remember, your first coat, it's okay not to cover it the first time. With any paint, I don't care what paint you use, you don't want it to be gloppy. You want everything to be nice and smooth. So take your time in the first go round. So I'm done with the first coat, and I just wanted to go over it with you. And like I've said a million times, do not cover the whole piece in one go. What you want to do at this point is see if you're looking for little spots like that. What I like to do is take my foam brush and make sure that it's, you know, dry, and I'll just move that along, okay, and smooth it in. You're just going over this and looking for anything that looks kind of drippy, droopy. You know, you don't want to have the drips. And sometimes you got to let it sit for a minute or two before you start to see some of those little drips that you want to just clean up, like so. Okay? So yeah, when you first do it, you're gonna be like, ooh, I'm not sure how I feel about this. Just give it some time. This is the part where everybody kind of freaks out. So that's normal. Even I am like, oh, you know, this is the scary part. But trust me, once you get the second coat on and then you get your distressing effect, you're gonna be pretty happy with it. So while this is drying, I'm gonna start working on the dresser part. Now this has had one coat of paint, and I want to let you know that I had some drips, see, that came off the locks. So what I did is I took sandpaper and I sanded them down, and that was about the only place that I had pretty major drips. Everything else came along pretty nicely. So this is ready for a second coat, so I'm pretty stoked about that. And I'm really happy with how the top turned out. I sanded it down because it had a lot of gouges and stuff. This whole piece had a lot of scratches, which is why it probably didn't sell at the store that, well, I got it at an estate sale. So I sanded it down, just kind of giving it a little bit of a facelift, because a lot of people, as beautiful as the Eastlakes are, a lot of people are like, that doesn't fit with my decor right now. So when we paint them, that's when they move. So that's what we're going to try to do, give this a facelift and maybe a new home, and it's a lot better than sending it to the dump. Too beautiful to do that. So stay tuned. Hi. So what I like to do is I leave the drawers in sometimes. I used to pull the drawers out, but I'm finding that it's a lot easier to just leave them in. And after the first coat of paint, I'll just go in with a screwdriver and just pull those drawers out and make sure that they're not sticking. So that's what I do. Again, I'm going to grab my Statehouse White and really shake it each time, because you want to make sure everything mixes so that you've got consistent results each time. If you don't do this, you'll end up with a brighter white or inconsistent results. So you want to make sure that you really shake this well each time you use it, okay? And that's true with any paint. You want to mix it. Sometimes you have the stirrer because these are so tiny, you can't get a stirrer down there, so you got to really shake it up. All right. So because I'm trying to protect the edge, I'm going to use my foam brush that's included in the ProPack. And I'm going to do some edging here, because you got to be careful or you end up with mistakes like I just made a few seconds ago. I'll do all of my edging with the foam brush. There. Now I can go over it with my round brush. So this is the exciting part, it's the drizzle. I'm going to try something a little different because I have the Fireside Ebony from staining the top of the dresser. I think what I'm going to do is do a splash of that inside of the Cocoa Cafe drizzle just to make it a little bit darker. The Cocoa Cafe tends to be a little more of a burnt sienna, a warm coppery tone, and I want that, but I also want the depth of the darker Fireside Ebony in this. So I'm gonna mix the two together and see what I get. So you know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shake my jugs, right? This is the Cocoa Cafe that is included in your ProPack for the Statehouse White, and just give it a good shake. And I also don't want to go too crazy because I really like this antique white. So I think I just want to do some touches on the edges just to bring those out a little bit. I don't think I want to go as crazy with this as I did with my Mad Hatter desk. That I did a very heavy drizzle with. So I think this time I just want to do something really light. Again, I'm going to shake, sorry, this is well loved. This is the Fireside Ebony that I use a lot in here from Vermont Natural Coatings. It's an all-in-one, so you don't need to do anything special, just enjoy it. Do not clear coat this. I've found that when I clear coat it, it leaves like a film, so just be aware of that. Not a lot, just gonna be a little splash. That's plenty. And then I'll mix these two together. So I'm just going to pour this into a dish that I have here in the shop, and I've got a foam brush a little wider than what you get in our ProPacks. You want something wide to cover your piece a little easier. Okay, so I simply put, you know, not a bunch, but I've got enough here, and I'm going to start at the top and go across here like so. Now what this clear coat is for is it makes it a little smoother, easier to clean. This I would definitely use if I were doing kitchen cabinets. That is a must. If you're doing kitchen cabinets, bathroom cabinets, something that you're going to be scrubbing. Now, this piece certainly didn't need to have a clear coat on it because it's not really going to be in a high traffic area, but I like to finish it off with this nonetheless. It gives it a nice sheen, which I really like, and you can definitely feel the difference. If you ever come into our store, ask to see a couple of our door samples that we have here in the store, because one of them, it shows that we have the clear coat on it, and another one shows without, and you can really feel the difference. You can certainly have the piece without the clear coat. It's just my personal preference. And when you're in these corners, you want to make sure that you don't have any sort of drips going on there. You want everything to be nice and smooth. I absolutely love this clear coat. There's so much you can do with it. We use it in our decoupage formulas. We use it in image transfers. It's just the most versatile product that we have, and I absolutely love it. Do not put it on the top if you have used the Ebony Fireside. This already has the coating in it. It's an all-in-one. You do not have to put the clear coat on. If you do, you will find that it will dull your finish. So do not put clear coat on top of this, okay?